intros are hard, right, guys? And you probably run into it every day in business where, what do you say? What's the first thing you say to somebody? What's your elevator speech? So let me tell you, it doesn't necessarily get any easier the longer you're doing this. But I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Alan.
And we're going to tell you why we want to help you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually you talk more.
I do. I'm getting this warmed up here.
You're getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Okay. So the beginning of the story here is that Alan and I get approached fairly regularly by acquaintances and people that have questions about business. And we've both sat down in the last couple of weeks with a couple of people. Some of them are the same, who had questions for us about how to start a website, or what do you think? Do you have an opinion about this business makes sense, or what am I missing here? And so we want to reach out and help as many people as we possibly can. And that is why you can now find Green Rabbits Coaching.
But hi, everybody. My name is Alan, and I'm sure you see videos like this all the time. But what's really important is to learn about both of our backgrounds. So, for example, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm currently elected to a city council that has a population, or the town has a population of about 20,000 people. And that's interesting. Well, that's interesting, but we're just getting started. My background prior to doing that is I was a firefighter for the Forest Service. I worked in agriculture. I was a commodity trader. I had a land clearing business. I had a small manufacturing business, and I currently have an insurance agency. Now, why do I not lead with the insurance agency? It's really not terribly exciting. I'm sure a lot of you are not interested in insurance at all. And let's just not lead with that. It's way cooler to tell people that you did a lot of those other jobs. So that's what we start with. But what makes me different and valuable for these types of things is this broad range of experience. I mean, you're not going to run into a lot of people that were a commodity trader, a firefighter, and have had a couple of small businesses. So that's a little bit more about me. How about Kimberly?
Well, see, and I round him out because I actually think the insurance is way cooler than you think it is. It's something that I don't always think about. And there have been a number of times I've walked into Alan's office and been like, oh, I'm trying to get this deal done, and I just need, and he is able to draw on those experiences. And a lot of times it's insurance to help me move something to the next level. But the reason I'm having conversations about deals is because I am currently the founder of a company called Benna Sprays. But I'm starting in the current because I love what I'm doing, and I love just about everything that I have done. The variety, the breadth, the plethora of different things. I started my career in supply chain with General Mills. I've worked for Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. I've been in supply chain. I've been in marketing. I've run divisions. So the gamut of different parts of the business all culminated with me starting one of my own. So I've probably been through a lot of the headaches that you guys are working on right now, fairly recently. And I want to give you my experience so you don't have to go through as many of those headaches as I did. Does that sum it up?
I think that there's always more.
There is always more. I actually think your insurance stuff is way cooler than you give it credit for. We're just having a conversation about different types of insurance and you know, what you really do and do not need for coverage about 3 hours ago. So it comes up more often than you think it does.
That actually is an interesting point. And if you're looking at starting a business or expanding your business, one of the things to pay attention to are items that you don't need. I almost guarantee you that if you call up any insurance agent and tell them that you're starting a business, they will come up with all kinds of insurance that you need. honestly, depending on what you're starting, you may not need that. It really will depend on your individual circumstance, but it's quite possible you don't need insurance when you start your business. Kind of unlikely, but it is possible. Other people come up with questions. Do I need a website? Well, websites are good. I think everybody agrees websites are good.
Websites are good.
Sometimes you may not need a website for your business. Now, if you start looking around, you're going to have website developers that tell you, start with your website, start with your foundation there. We can add email to it, and then you'll have control of everything. That might be a bit too robust for what you're starting with.
You might just need Facebook.
You might just need Facebook, or
you can get Messenger through Facebook. You can sell. You have Facebook Marketplace. It actually gives you a lot of tools. Now, somebody that Alan and I were talking to this week, he came to us and had the basics set in place and is ready to move to the next level. And we really coached him through, okay, you've done a couple of things. Now, how do you bring it all together under one bow as you move to the next step?
Right. That's about all I can say to that one is right.
Right. Well, you've got all the website stuff down, but
yeah. And another thing, on the same topic, everybody's all over social media as we are. But if you're just starting this, it's literally a lot to manage. If you're trying to start Twitter accounts, TikTok accounts, Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts, Pinterest accounts, whatever is best for your business, it's really a good idea just to start with one or two and perfect one or two, or pay somebody to help you perfect all of them at the same time, because you need so much data and so much content, and it has to be managed all the time. It turns into a bear cat.
It is a bear cat. And I would say that about your website too, is when you're laying out your business plan, make sure that you put your money in the right place. There are a ton of things that you look at and you say, oh, but I can do that. How many times have we gotten stuck in the, oh, I can do that cycle, right? But you have to look at it and say, yes, I can do that. But is this also something that I can contract out? Because I will tell you that there are 100 things in the I can do that category that only you can do for your business. And there are about 1,200 in the I can do that, but there are people that are experts at it and I can contract that out. I think that's a big mistake that a lot of people make in a startup, is saying, I can do that. I absolutely can. I can post in Facebook. I can be in groups. I can go online and I can say, I want this insurance, or I can go online and I can, $30 for 4 years of a website, but then what? So you have to look at the areas that you're going to contract out experts, because everything comes down to two decisions: time and money. And you need to take your time that's finite and put it in the areas that somebody else can't make decisions for you. It's going to be really hard for you to contract out somebody else deciding what font you want, or what bottle you need, or contracting out your expertise in an area that you need to take a phone call with a client. But you can contract out a service like a website or Facebook or Google Ads.
And the great thing about contracting it out to various providers is it doesn't have to be forever. It can just be a start to get everything going. And then once it's going, if you want to take over more, you just take over more. It's great. I've done that in the past with all kinds of things, especially some of my social media accounts. It's wonderful. It's a great way to get going quick.
I agree. And that's where a business plan really comes into order. And I don't know. You can go download the Small Business Association business plan on a website somewhere, and you can go fill out all 47 pages of that. I'm not good at that. That's not my bailiwick.
Yeah. And let's even talk about business plans and banks for a moment. Yeah. Okay. So if you've called a bank trying to get funding for your business, just stop doing that. That's going to be your professional tip of the day, because what they're going to have you do is they're going to have you fill out a business plan that's about that thick, and it's going to have all kinds of fun stuff in it. It's going to have pro forma financial statements, which are more than likely going to want to have done by an accountant. It's going to have all these scenarios and projections and things like that. And the next thing you know, you've spent literally tens of thousands of dollars on this business plan, which will be about a half-inch worth of paper that you're going to submit to your bank. And more than likely, your bank is going to say no, unless you happen to be getting a loan from a SBA approved lender. And then there's even more paperwork to go through. And if you are going to be getting SBA loans and you are that mega of a business, let's chat about banking and how that's going to go down. But if you're starting a normal business, getting financing through banks outside of the SBA is literally probably not going to happen. They're going to want all kinds of collateral that if you have collateral, you're probably not going to want to give the bank that much collateral. And if you don't have any collateral, the bank is going to say no. So you don't need to spend all this time on these mega business plans. Now, a business plan is good. It's a great idea.
You need one. Start one.
It's a great idea to say, like, we're going to do A, and then we're going to do B, and then we're going to do C, and this is where we're going to end up, and this is what we're going to do with the business when we decide we're going to be done with it. We're either going to sell it or give it to somebody or whatever you want to do with it. That's a great thing to have in the business plan. But the idea that you need this traditional business plan, I don't think you probably do.
I agree 100%. In fact, it's funny, as I was listening to you talk about loans and whatnot, I founded a company in 2018, June 2018. And one of the pieces of advice that I've gotten in my lifetime a couple of times is banks only give money to people who don't need it. So, I mean, Alan actually made a really great choice this year in getting a loan when he didn't need it. And it's so that you are able to build for your business. That doesn't usually happen day one. So you have to think about, how much do I really need to start this business? And then increase it by 30%. It's like building a house. You're going to go over budget. You're going to think about things are going to happen that you didn't think about. You're going to be on retainer with somebody longer than you expected you were going to be. But my perspective on a business plan, after filling out one of those long SBA ones, because I had all the hope in the world, is take a couple of sheets of paper, take a couple of days and some headspace, and just, what are the things you really need? Do I want a website? Yes or no? Is this something that I can find somebody that's competent to help me with? Yes or no? What's my name? What about Facebook? Am I getting in groups? Am I going to make a page? How is my page going to be? Is it going to be public? Is it not going to be public? Just take a notebook, go buy a notebook and a pen. That's the absolute best place to start, and start diagramming, start doodling, start writing out your thoughts about this business that you're starting. And then we can help you from there.
Great advice. Anything else to add right now?
I think that's an intro. We gave him quite a bit to think about, ponder about.
It's a good intro. If you're interested in getting in touch with us, you can message us wherever you see us. The email will be posted at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to send us an email there, and we hope to get in touch with you. If you got any questions, let us know and we'll get back to you.
We're here to help you.